all the action here tonight from Atlantic City. This is the Group 4 final on 97.3 ESPN. Mike Gill and Tony Blum live here in Atlantic City. Tyler Donahue down on the court. He will handle half the sideline duties tonight. Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliances providing live video on our website at 97.3ESPN.com. All right, we have made the Group 4 finals a highly anticipated matchup. This place is already pretty much filled to the brim. And Tony, looks like from what most people believe, it will be a defensive battle tonight.
Yeah, it should be a great battle between two teams that are known for their defense. In the playoffs, Lenape is giving up an average of only 30 points. And when I talked to Coach Allen before the game of Atlantic City, he seemed to indicate, well, that may have been against other teams, but we feel we can do a little bit more damage than 30 points against this Lenape team. But they both are known for their defense. And as Tyler was discussing at the pregame show, a team that gets up by 10 points, and it's going to be difficult for the other team to come back. And the other thing is that Atlantic City, goes on their spurts, goes on their runs, and that could be a big-time deciding factor in this game as well. We saw that against Toms River North as they just took what was a 6-8 point lead and put the game away, Mike, in that third quarter. So that's what they can do, and that's what Lenape does not want to let them do here this evening.
Well, one thing in this game, Tony, that should be a little different is experience. I thought the experience factor was a big factor in that game. Atlantic City's been here multiple times. Toms River had not been here. That will not be the case with Lenape. These two teams met last year. Isaiah Graves, a sophomore, was big in that game. That game went to overtime. Graves was a big factor in that game, as are many of the other players in this game. But this Lenape team has a lot of kids that were a part of that team too. So experience should not be a big mismatch on either side tonight.
And this Cape Atlantic League broadcast is produced by Prime Events. Our executive producer is Tom Williams, and you'll find complete Cape Atlantic basketball stats, boys and girls, online at primeevents.net. At primeevents.net, you can also check out the Online 25, a ranking of South Jersey's top teams, updated every night. Check the CAL standings, visit local sports halls of fame, link to the pairings for the showcase event. Listen to this game, of course, and much, much more. For complete coverage of Cape Atlantic basketball, visit primeevents.net. And live coverage of the Vikings in Group 4 tournament is brought to you in part by Dino's of Margate, open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. until 11:30 p.m., serving award-winning subs and pizza and a great breakfast menu. Dino's delivers to the beaches. Call 822-6602. Dino's, 8016 Ventnor Avenue in Margate. And Prime Events thanks Assemblyman Chris Brown, a loyal supporter of Vikings boys basketball, for his sponsorship in tonight's game. Dino's of Margate and Assemblyman Chris Brown both say, go Vikings, as Gene Allen and his team go after yet another state championship. Both teams have completed their warm-ups, retreating to the sidelines in preparation of the national anthem and the start of this game, and we're looking forward to it, Mike. Interesting when both teams play such good defense. Something's got to give.
Yeah, you would think so tonight, and I think this will be a game of who basically whose offense makes a big shot, who comes to play offensively. You heard Kevin Minnick in the pregame with Tyler say, Lenape's a team without stars, really. Atlantic City's the same way. They don't really have a star, but could tonight be a night for Deshaun Reynolds? We will find out in just a matter of moments. We're going to send it down on the floor with Tyler Donahue from a report in just a few moments. We'll take a quick timeout for the national anthem and be back with the tip-off and more from this one here, 97.3 ESPN's coverage of the Group 4 finals.
Welcome to the Sports Complex Center here at Atlantic City High School, where tonight for the South Jersey sectional finals, the Atlantic City Vikings play host to the Indians of Lenape High School. Ladies and gentlemen, before we do the starting lineup, would you please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem?
Yo. Very faintly. I can hear him very faintly. Hello? I'm just making sure that I can still hear you. All right, we're down to like the last 10 seconds here. How's Tyler going to know to go? Okay. I'm going to send it to him as soon as we're done here. All right? Let me know. Huh? Back here at Atlantic City High School, Mike Gill, Tony Blum, and Tyler Donahue, who is down on the floor with an update on the Vikings.
Thanks, Mike and Tony. A big matchup tonight, obviously a Group 4 championship matchup between two teams that live on defense. Atlantic City, of course, a turnover machine on the defensive end. Meanwhile, Lenape, if you're not familiar, they are a devastating defensive team. Last game, they're able to hold their opponents to just 27 points. That's a Shawnee team that is a rival. So put that in consideration as these two teams match up. The situation here, gym getting loud, it's an exciting atmosphere. Lenape brought a ton of fans, a huge student section, and this game sold out before noon today. So that shows the kind of frenzy around this. And of course, if Atlantic City can win this matchup, they're on their way to the state championship bracket and an opportunity to repeat as state champions. That would certainly solidify themselves as a dynastic program. This is Coach Gene Allen's 10th year at the helm with the Vikings. He is 217-69 during that span. 3 visits to the state championship, 2 wins in those games. He'd love to get to number 4 this year, and I had a chance to speak with him a little bit earlier. Certainly a calm, cool, and collected Coach Gene Allen as usual, but certainly an element of nerves and anxiousness. That was presented quite well just from my conversation from him. Meanwhile, Coach Guitar on Lenape's sidelines, he is a Paul VI player, and now as a coach, he's implemented that defensive strategy, and he certainly brings a similar mindset as Coach Allen into the situation. Both teams love to get after it, but the difference here is size. Lenape with no one over 6'3". Meanwhile, Atlantic City has Jabril Chandler at 6'5" down low, and the big setter, Jolly Montague, a 6'8" specimen who has been dynamic in these playoff runs. And of course, now as we see Atlantic City being introduced here, when you can see all this on 97.3 ESPN.com. Starting lineups now coming out for the Vikings. And of course, the guy to watch, Dennis White, the junior. He had 10 points in the semifinal victory, and we've seen him explode at times. And Deshaun Reynolds, really the heart and soul of this team. 23 points in the Cape Atlantic League Championship game, 4 3-pointers. He's the outside threat. Keep an eye on him, but it all comes down to the boys down low. Jabril Chandler, Jaleem Montague. I'm Tyler Donahue down here on the sidelines. We'll be checking in throughout the game. Enjoy the action. Back to you, Mike and Tony.
All right, Mike Gill, Tony Blum here on 97.3 ESPN, and of course 97.3 ESPN.com. You can watch live video of this game if you could not get a ticket. As Tyler said, this game has been sold out since noon.
Well, they didn't sell tickets anywhere except in the schools themselves and after the game on Friday, as we announced. So starting lineups is Sawyer Hand, who's a 5'9 senior. This is for Lenape, along with Paul Mostak, a 6'1 senior. Those are the guards. Tabu Gaither is 6'3 senior. Cameron Green, the 6'3 junior. And in the middle, Cole Moody, who is a 6'2 junior, but Moody is a wide body. For Atlantic City, their normal starting 5 of Deshaun Reynolds, Isaiah Graves, Jabril Chandler, Dennis White, and Jaleem Montague. Atlantic City in their white home uniforms with blue trim. Lenape in their traveling reds with white trim. It'll be Green jumping it up against Montague. Atlantic City will be shooting to our left, and Lenape, the Indians, to our right. The South Jersey Group 4 finale. Tip is controlled by no one, and they'll do it again.
Anxiousness from everybody, including the officials.
Cameron Green at 6'3", jumps against 6'8". Montague, and Montague controls the tip, back taps to Deshaun Reynolds. So we're underway. Deshaun Reynolds moves it out of the backcourt, center court. It's man-to-man defense for the Indians. Right sideline for Graves, up high for Chandler. Holds it high over the head to right sideline Graves. Graves up high for Chandler, down low to the cutting Montague, but overshoots, and the first turnover of the game.
Atlantic City, the bigger team of the two.
And Atlantic City has had some trouble with entry passes. We've seen them in past games. That's the first turnover. Inbounding will be Green. It comes into Mostak in the backcourt, played by Graves. Mostak looking to move it up court against the pressure of Isaiah Graves along the left sideline. Looking to one hop down low, but it's poked away and out of bounds. Last touched by Graves. So right off the get-go, you can see Atlantic City in their normal pressure defense. They'll be in your face for the entire 32 minutes.
Sure will. And Graves was a sophomore and hit the big shot last year in that game. So he has a lot of confidence in this one.
Inbound pass intended for Green. Picked off easily, though Montague just stepped in front, and we're all even. One turnover apiece. Neither team has had a shot at the basket. Left side, Chandler holds it high over the head. Down low to the cutting Graves. Cuts in, no good. Tip, no good. Rebound loose on the floor, and a whistle traveling called as Moody actually had the basketball but then fell down, and they call steps on the big fellow.
See who they try to establish here. Who will be the offensive guy tonight for Atlantic City?
Deshaun Reynolds, inbound pass comes to White. Hands to Deshaun as he comes to meet it. Deshaun Reynolds for the pull-up. Off the back of the rim, no good. Good position, good boxing out by Lenape.
Good sign, though, for Atlantic City to see him take that shot.
Yep. Right side for Mastek. Center court, it goes for Green. Off the pick from Moody, looking to penetrate but cut off. Instead, sounds outside for Green. And it's no good, but tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Dennis White.
No score here early. Both teams kind of feeling each other out.
So Mostak to trigger under his own bucket. Looking in, slaps the basketball. Left side it goes to Gaither for the side jumper that is good.
Tabu Gaither, a senior, going out in the perimeter there.
So 2-0. Lenape on top of Atlantic City. Veering to his right is Deshaun Reynolds. Looks to one hop right side for Graves. It's picked off though, down court. Here's the pull up by hand, and he hits. 4-0. The Indians quickly out to the lead. Moving it across is Deshaun Reynolds, head of the key. Sends left side for Graves. Holds the basketball high over the head. Down low to the cutting Chandler, and he misses the easy one. Had an open look and just overshot the bucket. Ahead right side, it goes for Gaither. Check that, Green, pardon me. One hops down low for Moody. Outside for Hand, left-hand corner for Green. Green puts on the floor. Center court for Moody. Swing it right side for Hand. Watched by Chandler. Center court for Gaither. He's grabbed as he drives left side of the lane. A non-shooting affair. First foul of the ball game.
This will be interesting because Lenape plays really good defense too. And Atlantic City, they're a good offensive team. They're not a great offensive team. So if they get behind here, they're down 4-0. Not like they're falling behind in danger of getting blown away. But we'll see if Lenape scores here.
Inbound pass from Mastek. Center court, it goes for Gaither. Right side, he swings it for Hand. Looks down low, holding the basketball. Continues to hold. Center court, it goes for Gaither. One hops down low for Moody. Backing his way for the short flip that is no good. Rebound for Green for the follow that is no good, but a whistle on the play. And he was fouled down low. And right there, the shorter Lenape Indians asserting their force on the backboard.
Working hard. They're a scrappy team. They take on the persona of their coach, Chuck Guitar, who we said is a defensive-minded coach. And he's a guy who is getting a lot out of a smaller team tonight.
Here's the first. It is good. And he will get another. The Indians return to the free throw line after having a powwow with their coach, Guitar. And Green set for the second. It is also good. So now 6-0. Atlantic City down. You don't see this too often from the Vikings as Deshaun Reynolds moves it across, talking to Gene Allen as he moves it across, operating left side. Directing traffic, sends left-hand corner for Jabril Chandler. Down low it goes for Graves, and he steps on the end line looking to drive the baseline. So another turnover for Atlantic City. Vikings have yet to score. 5:23 left in the opening quarter. Inbounding Green, looking in, continues to look. It comes to Mastak. Mastak played by Graves. Accelerating. Now holds the dribble. Up court it goes for Moody, who has trouble with it. Double teamed along the right sideline is Green, the jump ball, and it stays with the Lenape Indians.
Atlantic City had that one good look. Chandler underneath, and he missed that. So hopefully that's not a sign of things if you're a Viking fan tonight. Got to get those easy ones.
Mastak to toss in from the near sideline. Looking, continues to look. It comes to Gaither. Returns to Mastak, right sideline. Watched by Graves. Looking to make the move. Snaps left side for Gaither. Gaither holds the basketball down low to Mastak with a pump fake. The reverse is no good, but he was fouled on the play. So the good pass down low and the good pump fake by Mastak gets the defender in the air, and he'll move to the free throw line to shoot two.
Good pace right now for both these teams, but Lenape is prospering by scoring. Atlantic City has turned the ball over twice and missed a jumper, an easy layup.
Here's the first from Mastak. It is good. Checking in quickly is Tashad Reynolds.
This will be a big thing. Who's deeper? I mean, we know Atlantic City's deep. Ken Lenape, I mean, they get off to an early 7-0 lead here, but are they deep enough? Will they have the stamina to hang in there with Atlantic City?
Yeah, we've seen them pull ahead in that fourth quarter because of fatigue. The second by Mastak is also good. So 8-0 now. Atlantic City on the short end. 4:55 remaining in this opening quarter, the South Jersey Group 4 Championship. Tashad Reynolds throws right side to Dean Reynolds. Holds it high over the head. Right sideline finds Graves. He sets, he shoots, it's way off. Rebound take by Mastak. Ahead it goes for Hand. He gallops to the forecourt right side, cuts to his left, outside for Moody, returns to Hand, swing it to the left sideline for Green. Outside for Gaither. Watched by Montague. Down low for the cutting Moody for the hook shot. That is good, and it's 10-0.
Atlantic City's calling timeout, Tony. It's 10-0, and they need a timeout to refocus themselves here on 97.3 ESPN.
Live coverage of Vikings in the Group 4 tournament is brought to you in part by Maynard's Cafe, Amherst Avenue in Margate, with food specials every day. 15 TVs and pool tables. Maynard's Kitchen open until 3 a.m. Check them out at maynard-cafe.com. And by the 4A Bike Shop. That's 5300 Venter Avenue in Venter. Quality bicycles and exceptional service for over 25 years. The best bike shop at the Jersey Shore. Maynard's Cafe and the 4A Bike Shop wish the Atlantic City Vikings the best of luck in their quest for another state championship.
Lenape, Tony, looking very well prepared to start this thing out here.
Tashad Reynolds moves it across center court. Veering to his left. Throws right sideline for Dean Reynolds. Holds the ball. Center court for Graves. Swing it left side for Tashad Reynolds. Outside for Graves. Graves one hops right sideline for Deshaun Reynolds, looking to flip down low to Montague, but he was pushed. And again, a non-shooting affair, so Atlantic City to toss in from underneath their own bucket. They need a basket.
And here's Deja Chase. The senior's going to jump into the game for Atlantic High. Tashad Reynolds takes a seat.
Inbounding will be Deshaun Reynolds underneath his own basket. And Guitar looks like he wants to talk to an official. And he's objecting to Deja Chase checking in, and now officially checked in as he reported into the scores table. He's in the ball game. So Deshaun Reynolds, inbound pass to Jabril Chandler, and an offensive foul called on Jaleem Montague.
Frustration, maybe an offensive foul, a little push off. Just trying to get a screen set. Atlantic City still hasn't scored halfway through the first.
Inbounding will be Green. It comes to Hand, played tightly by Graves. Hand spinning his way across the timeline, left side. Now he falls down and he's tied up, and jump ball this time will go to Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, if they want to hurry up and get back in this, they're down 10-0. Not that they're out of this game at all, but they're going to have to start making some steals on defense and that pressure defense that they're known for.
So Graves will trigger from the far sideline. Montague will sit down, and Dennis White back in the ball game along the left sideline. It's Deshaun Reynolds. Deshaun Reynolds cross court for Graves. Up high for Dennis White. White deals left side for Deshaun Reynolds. Down low to Jabril Chandler, and he is pushed.
Some people thought it could have been a walk there because the way he caught it, but I think it's a right call. I thought he did get pushed. But some of the Lenape fans in the building wanted a walk.
Kendall Green now checks in for Lenape. He replaces Mastak. And excellent six-man is Green, a 6'1 senior. Deshaun Reynolds with the inbound pass to Graves. Cutting in, underneath to Chandler, lays it home, but it will not count as he was fouled on the pass was Graves. Let's see how they're going to call it here. They are going to call it a two-shot foul. Okay, looked like a pass to me, but he will be shooting a pair.
Quick score, Medford Tech 70-54 late in the fourth quarter. So it looks like Medford Tech is on its way to winning Group 2.
Graves hits the first. He will get another. A 6'3 junior, so he will return next year. 10-1. 3:37 left in the opening quarter, and Graves hits them both. So Atlantic City on the scoreboard. Green to toss in. Comes to Carmen Green. Moving it across his hand, left side, played tightly by Graves. He pokes it away, but out of bounds. Would have had a clean steal and an easy two, but it just went out of bounds.
Good quick hands on the perimeter from the Vikings. That's a trademark for their guards.
So inbounding will be Kendall Green. Daza Chase pressures the inbound. It comes to hand. Watched by Graves. Moving it across behind the back as Graves is right on him. Throws left side to Gaither. Up high to Green. Spins his way down the lane for the easy scoop. That is no good, but the follow is put back in. That was Gaither. Down low pass intended for Graves. Knocked away and stolen away by Lenape. Along the left sideline, it's Cameron Green. Off the pick from Moody. Has trouble. Continues to have trouble. Sends left sideline for Green. That's Kendall. Throws right sideline for Hand. Hand center court for K. Green. Down low for Moody. Deals left hand corner for Gaither. Played tightly by White. An entry pass up high intended for Hand, and another jump ball, and this one goes back to Lenape.
Man, Atlantic City caught a break there with an easy missed layup by Gaither, but nobody boxing out on Kendall Green, and he gets the putback.
So checking in now is Chudoff, Dylan Chudoff for Lenape. 2:31 left in this first quarter of play. It's been all Lenape as they lead it 12-2. Inbounding is Green. Kendall. Down low it comes on the inbound pass for the easy two. Now 14-2. Daza Chase, right-hand corner for Deshaun Reynolds. Looking to penetrate, but cut off. They swing it left side for the long-range jumper by Graves off the back of the rim, over the top of the backboard, and no good.
Atlantic City has already called a timeout, and out of that timeout, they've only scored 2 points in the last 2 minutes. Isaiah Graves is 0 for 2 from three-point range so far for the Vikings as well.
So Atlantic City down 14-2. Inbounding is Kendall Green, and it comes to Mastak. It's reported back in, watched by Deshaun Reynolds. Moves it across left side, and the offensive foul as he extends the arm to push Deshaun away and commits the personal.
Ocean City girls 31-26 over Timber Creek. If they win the game, that will be their 4th South Jersey title in 6 years for Ocean City.
Inbound pass to Daza Chase. Center court to Graves. Holds the basketball, and now a whistle on the play.
Cameron Green down in the post is going to get called. He got tangled up there with Dennis White. Those guys are both working hard in the blocks.
Yeah, 5 team fouls for Lenape. That's their 5th. Looking in is Deshaun Reynolds. It comes to Graves. Center court gives off to Chase as he directs traffic as he veers to his left. Up high it goes to Dennis White. Dennis looking to make the move. Outside for Chase. Right-hand corner, Chandler. Outside right side for Deshaun Reynolds. Right-hand corner flips for Chandler. Outside to Deshaun Reynolds. They swing it left baseline for Graves. Backing his way. Can't get to the 10. Outside to Chase. Underneath to the cutting White, but again thrown in back of him. Good idea, but the execution not there. Off his hands and another turnover.
And Lenape is trying to bait Atlantic City into taking a bad outside shot is what they're trying to do.
Kendall Green to toss in. Looking, continues to look, still looking. It comes to Hand. Hand played by Graves. Looking to work his way up court, working off some picks. Up high it goes to Chutoff. Deep in the left-hand corner to Mustek. Outside for Kendall Green, head of the key. Veers to his right. One hops right side off the fingertips of Green. That's Cameron Green. And the turnover.
Bounce it right between his legs, right out of bounds. Atlantic City needs a bucket. I mean, they scored 2 buckets, both off foul shots. They have not scored a field goal yet in the first quarter.
Here's Days at Chase, throws right sideline for Deshaun Reynolds. Deep in the right-hand corner for Jabril Chandler. Outside for Chase, head of the key. Left baseline for Graves. They swing it right side for Deshaun Reynolds. No good. White with a putback, no good, but he was fouled on the play. So White doing some business down low on the putback. Not good, but he'll move to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
You like what I saw there, though, because Deshaun Reynolds said, you know what, I'm going to have to start doing something. He took the jumper, which in turn allowed Dennis White to get active on the board. There's what Atlantic City really needed. Their main offensive player when he needs to be. Tonight he looks like he might have to be. Taking a good jumper and Dennis White banging, getting the offensive putback. By the way, Ocean City girls win the South Jersey Group 3 championship 34-26. So the Red Raiders will be the South Jersey Group 3 girls champions.
Gaithers checks out. Cameron Green back in for Lenape.
White missed that first attempt too. I mean, These are big. They still have not scored a free field goal in the first quarter.
So White with the second opportunity, also no good, but the putback is no good by Chandler. He's missed a couple of those in this game, one on a field goal. That was the putback off the missed free throw. Right sideline, it's Green. And the push on Jabril Chandler is Green goes sprawling to the hardwood. 5th team foul on Atlantic City now.
Big physical game, a lot of hard screens in this game so far. I mean, both these teams are playing tough defense, but Lenape's getting the ball to go in the basket. Atlantic City is not.
And you say, well, it's 14-2. It's only the first quarter. However, the kind of defense that Lenape plays, 14-2 is going to be an extra difficult thing for them. The steal on the inbound pass for Chandler. Chandler down the lane. Chandler with a scoop. Chandler hits.
Maybe that gets you started. You get a steal on the inbounds pass and then a tough layup.
14-4, 34 seconds remaining on the inbound pass. The foul on Graves. Still not over the limit. But I would say for the entire second quarter, Mike, we're going to spend most of that with both teams being over the limit because both have 6 team fouls now.
Very chippy. Very chippy out there with these officials. They're calling a lot.
Kendall Green to toss in. 33 seconds left. It comes to Hand, watched by Graves. Puts on the floor. Works off the pick from Chutoff. Right sideline it goes to Cameron Green. Outside Kendall Green leaves it for Mustek. They swing it along the left sideline for Hand. They're working for one. Hand deals for Mustek. Watched by Lamar Graves, who's come on for Atlantic City. Center court it goes for Cameron Green. Played by White, backing his way. Turns, leans in, no good. Rebound is snared off by White with 2 seconds left. Here's Deshaun Reynolds. Gets it off, but after the buzzer, and that's it. That's the end of the first quarter of play. With Lenape on top over Atlantic City, 14-4. This game is brought to you with the best wishes of everyone at Calvi Electric at Atlantic City, who encourage you to get out and support your favorite high school team each and every week. And Vic's Sub Shop, 742 Ohio Avenue in Absecon, offers great quality and friendly service with all sandwiches available for pickup or delivery. Phone 645-0500. Vic's is open 7 days a week until 8 p.m. on weeknights, 9:30 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You can also visit Vic's Sub Shop on Zion Road in Lake Harbor Township. Be sure to try Vic's Special. That's a sub piled high with their special assortment of fresh meats and cheeses. Vic's Sub Shop, Ohio Avenue in Absecon. So we've played one, and Lenape races out to the 10-point lead, 14-4, but it seemed like, anyway, that Atlantic City was starting to get a little more aggressive the last couple of minutes and looked a little bit more together offensively.
Yeah, they got that steal, Chandler with the steal, and then took it to the basket. I think that might be something that hopefully, if you're an Atlantic City fan, gets you going. But it's been a physical game. Chandler scored that first basket at the 42nd mark. 6 fouls on each team. It's been physical. As we start the second quarter, Mike Gill, Tony Blum, and Tyler Donahue on 97.3 ESPN and 97.3 ESPN.com. Atlantic City at home in the white with the blue trim. Lenape in all red with the white trim. The Vikings are moving right to left with the basketball trailing by 10. 14-4 the score. Reynolds, Graves, Lamar Thomas, the freshman, White, and Montague, the 5 on the floor for the Vikings. Thomas in the deep right corner. Reynolds takes it up top on the wing. Graves on the left side. Into the deep left corner for Montague. Puts the ball on the floor, races to the basket, and throws up a right-hand runner. It's no good, and the rebound is snared down by Gaither. Crossing the timeline is Hand. Hand on the right-hand side, he gives off for Green. Green at the elbow, a left-hand jumper is strong, and the rebound comes down to Dennis White, and he's fouled from the backside by Cole Moody, and that's going to have us taking a walk. Both teams very physical. Atlantic City now will shoot 1-1. That's the 7th team foul on Lenape. So sending Dennis White to the line, who's 0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, they pressured that shot, though, by Kendall Green, Mike. It was a forced shot, and then they got the rebound and were fouled from behind.
The refs are definitely in charge of this game. They are not letting anything go. The left-hander, White, who averages 10.6, scores his first basket of the night. 14-5 Atlantic City. They have scored one field goal in this game. It was scored with 40 seconds left in the first quarter by Jabril Chandler. A couple dribbles by the lefty. He bends, he fires, and that's strong. The rebound comes down to Green. Bounces it out to Hand, and here we go. Coming up on 7 minutes to play in the half. Hand crosses the timeline on the left side. Back up top for Kendall Green. Green gets it stolen away. Stolen away by White. White bounce pass behind the back. The layup is good by Reynolds.
Excellent.
And just
look
like
there.
that, a timeout.
Great look. It's 2-on-1. He passed the ball to Deshaun Reynolds at the perfect time, and he was able to hit. And now it's 14-7.
14-7 the score. 6:54 left to play.
Well, you like the way they do business at the Thomas H. Heist Insurance Agency. They're coastal insurance specialists with over 35 years experience. Flood, boat, auto, life, health. They offer it all at the Heist Agency with convenient offices located at 700 West Avenue in Ocean City, 7809 Atlantic Avenue in Margate, or Lake Harbor Township at the Providence Professional Park and at the ShopRite Shopping Center in Memorial. Also find them online at heistagency.com. Remember, Thomas H. Heist when you need insurance.
14-7. Atlantic City trails, but they're on a little run here all of a sudden. A steal and a layup to cut the lead in half. They trailed by 12. Now it's 7. Stolen away. Atlantic City with the ball on the floor. Graves, and there's a tie-up, and it's going to go back to Lenape. That ball hit off. I think Hand had his back turned, and the ball went off his back and rolled on the floor.
Yeah, but Lenape very quick to get in there and tie up the Atlantic City players, so they did not get another turnover. But Atlantic City starting to tighten the screws a little bit here, and Coach Guitar does not like it. That's what he said he wanted to avoid, Mike, those turnovers for easy baskets.
They'll inbound the ball with 6:51 to play in the half. Gaither on the end line, and it's off Hand's foot. It's off the hand's foot, and Thomas got a steal, so the Vikings will get the ball back.
So they're having trouble just getting the ball in, and Atlantic City can do that to you. And they're starting to apply big-time pressure here. Here's Deshaun Reynolds.
Reynolds will inbound. He gets it in that play they run a lot where they just kind of lob it into Montague. Now Atlantic City looks like they're in some sort of rhythm here. With 6:49 left to play, Montague goes to the line. Will go down to the sideline. Tyler Donahue, who's down on the floor, will get his perspective of what Gene Allen's been saying to his team in this deficit.
Well, I think so far the clear message of Gene Allen is they need to figure out a way to disrupt the half-court offense of Lenape Indians. So far they're having their way, and surprisingly, the size inside has gone in the way of the Indians at this point. As Jalee Montague sinks the first free throw. Now Atlantic City on a 6-0 run, was 14-2, now 14-8, and so far Atlantic City forcing 6 turnovers, 3 already in this quarter. So a nice move in the right direction for Atlantic City after a very stagnant start. 1 field goal in the first quarter.
Second one is good. Tyler Donahue reporting live on the floor. 14-9 Atlantic City trails. A lot of pressure here coming from the Vikings. Hand gets the inbounds pass. Stare down 101 by Reynolds. Reynolds pulls up the shorts, ready to go. Hand gets it across the timeline to Moody. Sold away. 1-on-1 with the basket and a little layup there by Graves. Graves lays it in. He's got 4, and it's a 3-point game. 14-11 Atlantic City trails. 6:32 to play in the half. Got a ball game now. Reynolds back on defense. Hand gets it in the corner. Going baseline is Green. Green lays up. It's blocked away by Montague. Rejected. Here comes Reynolds. Reynolds on the wing. Left hand. Foul line jumper. The lefty. In and out. No good. Rebound Green. Stolen away. Poked from behind. Montague gets a layup and a jam and a foul, but they're going to wave that off. Graves just poked it away, then threw it to Montague, who jammed it, but I think they're going to call a foul on the floor first. Atlantic City is in a one-on-one situation. The foul was actually on the player who fouled Graves, not Montague. So the foul came first.
And Mike, is this reminiscent of something we saw a couple of days ago? I mean, the quick hands of Atlantic City are just bothering this Lenape team to no end, and the first no good.
Rebound. Chudoff comes out with it. They get it to Green, now back to Hand. 14-11, Lenape leads with the basketball. In the corner, Green at the elbow. It's stolen away nearly. It rolls right to Mostak. Now a 3 by Hand on the way. It's short, no good. The rebound by Chandler. They give it to Graves, 5:50 to play, and a 3-point deficit for the Vikings. They have the basketball moving right to left. Playing catch in the backcourt. A 2-3 defense extended by the Indians. Reynolds thinks about a 3, dribble drive, kicks it out, 3-ball off back iron, no good, rebound Green. Kendall Green throws it in transition. Here is Cameron Green with a layup. So Cam Green with the transition bucket, 16-11 Lenape. Freshman Thomas gets it on the wing to Reynolds. Reynolds back to Thomas. A long 3, good! Lamar Thomas, the freshman, hits a 3 from the deep right corner with no one in his face.
We've seen that before. He has no fear as a freshman.
Unbelievable. And Thomas gets a hand on it, stolen away. Reynolds with a little fadeaway up the back iron. They tied it. We are tied at 16, and Lenape wants a timeout with 4:57 to play in the half. 16-16 on 97.3 ESPN.
Interstate Batteries in Egg Harbor Township is now the 10th largest in the country, bringing their excellent service to 7 counties in South Jersey. They not only have a battery for your car, but for your boat, RV, motorcycle, ATV, truck, power chair, or your golf cart. Interstate Batteries, America's #1 replacement battery, is at 6064 Riga Avenue in Egg Harbor Township. Open Monday through Friday from 8 till 5. Phone them at 609-646-5008. If you need a battery, you'll find it at Interstate Batteries. Tested and trusted. They are outrageously dependable. Well, Coach Guitar said he wanted to avoid the turnovers and the transition buckets, but I guess you can't really, as you said last game, Mike, practice against Atlantic City because they don't have the Atlantic City players or their scheme, and Atlantic City has just really turned on the defense in the last 3 minutes, and they are now tied at 16. And Atlantic City, it seems, Mike, sometimes teams take a quarter to get acclimated to the team they're playing. They're not used to seeing it. they've gotten acclimated.
By the way, Medford Tech 87, Sterling 69, first South Jersey title in school history for Medford Tech in Group 2. Here it's 16-16 in Group 4. With 4:55 to play in the first half, Atlantic City and Lenape, Mike Gill and Tony Blum, Tyler Donahue on the call for this one. Green, and he is bodied by Graves, and there's a foul way out on the perimeter. Boy, they're really calling things deep tonight.
But Gene doesn't like it because now they are in the penalty, and Green, that's Kendall, will go to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. Tashad Reynolds checks in, and Graves will take a seat.
Team number 7.
Of course, Gene likes to do this, get players in. They've all had experience during the year, and so when they're in the game in the state tournament, it doesn't really bother them.
The left-hander shot is in and out, no good. Rebound, fought for and won by Chudov. And Dylan Chudov, a 6'3 senior who he looks certainly a lot bigger than 6'3 around everybody else out there. Just a big, wide body for Lenape. He'll go to the line. It's a good, hard work there for Lenape. And I believe he'll get 2 on this as he was he got the rebound and trying to get that shot out. Montague looks like he doesn't want to come off the floor. Gene Allen kind of giving him a quick little talking because that's his 3rd foul.
Yeah, that's big. And he didn't agree with that call.
Dennis White, the junior, bouncing back in for Montague. So Jaleem takes a seat. Dennis pops in. Lenape leads by 1. Chudov's second attempt is solid. He's got 2. They lead by 2. 18-16, 4:43 to play in the half. Watch the video live on 97.3 ESPN.com, provided by Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliances in Ocean City. On the right side, Thomas gets it in the deep corner for Reynolds. Back to Thomas on the top of the key. Now a long 3. It's going to be short. I think it might have been blocked, but the rebound comes down to Chandler, who then threw it into the backcourt, threw it away. It's going to roll all the way back, and Reynolds is going to get it, and it's going to be a turnover. So backcourt. Chandler said, I got the rebound. I thought the guy was going to be there, and you're yelling at me.
Yeah, he was deep. I probably didn't think he had the opportunity to get a good shot off, so was looking for the outside pass and just didn't work out.
Mostak inbounds. Tyler Donahue has halftime coming up as Chudov puts up a shot. No good. Rebound, Chandler. On a night where teams are winning group titles, there could be one here tonight in Group 4. Reynolds turns it over. Green comes out with the steal. Foul line, left of the lane, throws up a shot, and he's fouled.
That was a tough one, Mike. It almost looked as if he jumped into the defender, but the defender very rarely gets the call in those circumstances, so he's going to be at the free throw line to shoot 2 with 4:02 left in this first half of play. Atlantic City fell behind at the end of 14-4, but then they turned on the defense and they're right back in it.
The left-handed attempt is good. Kendall Green. Jabril Chandler leaves the game, and Isaiah Graves re-enters, so Atlantic City going very small. Virtually a 4-guard offense, and White out there.
Yeah, he wants to protect them, I think, Gene, for that second half.
Second one is no good. Rebound. Chudov almost got it, and Reynolds comes down with the rebound. Reynolds now coming out in transition, gets it to T. Reynolds. Now Graves dribble drives to the basket. A left-hand layup is tough but good. He has 6 to lead the way for the Vikings.
Brought that one up from his hip.
They get it into Chudov. Chudov is pressure. He might have given up the pivot foot, and he did. There's a travel. So Atlantic City's pressure causes a turnover. It's 19-18 Lenape. Atlantic City has never led. They have a shot with this possession here, and 3:41 left to play in the first half. They scored 1 field goal in the first quarter, and we're down 14-2. Back to action. Inbound to White. White threw a pass into the corner. It's deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Atlantic City. Chuck Guitar saying, yo, watch those arms. Watch them pushing out on them screens.
Yeah, of course, Tashad Reynolds is talking to the official the other way, saying, what's going on? I hit the deck. No call?
They inbound it. They inbound the ball to Tashad Reynolds. The left-hander goes to the right side. Lamar Thomas, he'll pull up from there. Don't challenge him. Reynolds now circles to the same spot on the right wing, all the way on the right sideline. A belt-high dribble to the left hand. He goes between the legs, Now he kicks it into the corner. Graves the lefty. Graves goes baseline. He's cut off nicely. Bounce pass to White. White kicks it up between the circles with 3:12 left to play in the half. Gene Allen calling out a play.
Asked him to spread out. Mike wants some more spacing.
Reynolds now comes to the left wing. Now he goes to the foul line and kicks. Nowhere to go. Graves between the legs. Drives to the basket. It's blocked away by Cameron Green.
Of course, he's trying to either score or get fouled. Didn't get either right there.
Good block.
Yeah.
Atlantic City will trigger. Right side of the basket. Graves the trigger man. Gets it into White. White to the foul line for a 3-ball kick. Reynolds no good. And the rebound comes down. So a wasted possession. Green with the rebound. Hand gets it back with 2:48 to play in the half. Left side for Green. He goes baseline. And he loses the handle. Stolen away. 19-18. Vikings trail. They have the ball and a chance for the lead. Thomas for 3. Connects! His second 3 of the night. He's got 6, and the Vikings lead it by 2. Hand trying to slow things down.
How valuable has he been, Mike?
Far on the sideline. Lamar Thomas might be the MVP of the game. Mostock down low, and there's a foul called on White as he might have pushed Chudoff from the backside. And Dennis White, that's going to be the 10th team foul, I believe, on Atlantic City, which means 2 shots a coming for Chudoff, who had 2 points. Both of them came to the line, and it's Dennis White's 3rd foul.
So Jabril Chandler getting set to report in. I don't know how many he has. Do you have the number on Chandler?
Chandler has 2.
All right.
First attempt by Chudoff is good. Chandler in the game, White out. And that's really the big man rotation. White, Chandler, and Montague. Those are really your big forwards for Atlantic City. So the size advantage kind of getting taken away from Atlantic City with all that foul problems. Chudoff's second one is good. He's got 4 from the line, and it ties this game up at 21-21 with 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Tyler Donahue's got updates at the half. He's down on the sideline, and he'll have plenty more. Thomas with a runner, no good. He tries to get his own rebound. He pokes it into Reynolds' hands. Now it's on the floor, and there's a scrap and a whistle, and there's going to be a timeout taken by the Lenape Indians. Timeout on the floor, 21-21 on 97.3.
Golden Corral. Well, if you like mountains of pot roast, meatloaf, just like Mom used to make, then take a bite out of Golden Corral's daily luncheon and dinner buffet and turn your dreams into reality. Golden Corral is all of your home-style favorites, from fried chicken and mashed potatoes to fresh baked rolls and a chocolate fountain that flows all day long, plus hand-carved steak, now part of the daily dinner buffet. Make your food dreams come true at Golden Corral on the Black Horse Pike at the Shore Mall.
All right, we'll go down on the sideline there. Tyler Donahue, a timeout with Lenape and Atlantic City. We're all tied. Different vantage point down there. What are you seeing?
I'm seeing Atlantic City get after it on defense. We've got 8 forced turnovers here in the second quarter. A little bit of a pedestrian effort on defense in the first quarter. Seen them more familiarly force the pressure, and here we see Lenape taking some extra moments in the huddle. They really are on their toes right now, out to a 14-2 lead in the first quarter, and now we've seen Atlantic City go on a 19-7 run. And Lamar Thomas, what more can you say about the freshman? A pair of threes gives the Vikings their first lead of the game. Now we're tied with 1:52 to go, and like Mike said, stick around for the halftime show.
All right, Tyler's got halftime in 1:52. We're tied up at 21, and Tyler just mentioned the 8 forced turnovers for the Vikings. That has gotten them back in this game. Reynolds putting some pressure on Hand. Under 2 minutes to play. We're at 1:48. Hand crosses the timeline. Spins to the sideline. Now he's giving up the dribble. Could it be a 5? He bounced on the floor. Chudoff loses the handle, and it goes backcourt. It goes backcourt, and the Vikings turned it over, or get the turnover.
Another turnover. That's just what they do, and that's the defense that has produced 26 wins out of 27.
So Atlantic City with the basketball and 1:35 left to play. In the corner, Reynolds on the wing. Now T. Reynolds in the deep corner for Graves. Reynolds thinks about a three, goes to the foul line, kicks it to T. Reynolds, who goes to the middle of the paint. He puts a bounce pass on the floor. I think it hit off a Lenape Indian foot.
Yeah.
But they were trying to get that pass down to Chandler, who wasn't there.
He didn't move toward the bucket, and that's what Deshaun Reynolds was anticipating, but just were not on the same page.
Inbounding the basketball is Graves. Graves gets it into Reynolds. Reynolds gets it to T. Reynolds. D. Reynolds and T. Reynolds in the backcourt. Reynolds gets it to D. Reynolds. Thomas, Reynolds on the wing. Back to the other Reynolds on the other wing. Reynolds on the left wing. Back to the right wing. Reynolds spins to the paint. The left-hand runner, strong, no good. It goes out of bounds. There's going to be a foul called. They're going to call a foul on Chandler, and I think that's going to be his third.
Yeah. One thing we've noticed here tonight, though, Mike, Deshaun is off. He is cool from the outside and just not having it today from the perimeter, but there is another half to play.
We've seen him go scoreless in games and then go 19 in the second. He's got 4 in this one tonight, but he has not been crisp on the offensive end. 21-21 with 1 minute exactly to play in the first half. Lenape clears the lane as they allow Green to shoot his free throws. Kendall Green with 5 points for Atlantic City, and into the game is Kevin Allen for Chandler, who has 3. 3 for Chandler, 3 for White, and 3 for Montague in the foul department. And the second one is good. So Kendall Green and this Lenape team have shot free throws very well. 23-21, Atlantic City trails with the ball. 53 seconds. Reynolds in the backcourt. Thomas in the corner, and they get it to Graves in the corner. Allen in the post right now, who hasn't seen a lot of time this year. Reynolds in the deep corner for Lamar Thomas. Back to Reynolds. Who's the scorer on the floor right now? Here's Graves on the wing. Back to Thomas. Reynolds. Playing catch in the backcourt. Deshaun with 27 seconds to play. Now he backs it out. He looks to go one-on-one, but there's a 2-3 zone here. It's going to be tough to get your way through there. 20 seconds, and he wants to clear out. Telling Allen to clear out. A 2-3 zone staring at Deshaun Reynolds as he kind of hops his way a couple of steps in. 10 seconds on the clock. Here comes Reynolds, charging to the basket. He goes all the way, and it's in, and it's fouled. Reynolds stared this 2-3 zone in the face. Makes it to the basket and gets fouled. They have a chance to take the lead.
And you notice Deshaun was looking over at Coach Gene Allen, and Gene was saying, okay, hold on. And when it hit the 10-second mark, he said, okay, go. That's what he did, and he was successful, and a foul.
The whole Lenape team knew it was coming, and Deshaun Reynolds went right into the belly of the beast. Free throw's no good, rebound it. Lenape's going to get a shot with 3. 2, a long 3 is way off the mark. He had time to take a couple more steps in, but that's going to do it. At the end of the first half, the score, the Atlantic City Vikings 23, the Lenape Indians 23. We're at halftime here on 97.3 ESPN and 97.3ESPN.com with live video. Tyler Donahue will guide you through the halftime right after these
They
messages.
have been pretty much all zone in that first half, and it has been effective because Atlantic City, despite the fact that Thomas has hit 2 threes, have not shot that well from the perimeter.
Well, and I think, you saw Southern. They did the 2-3 zone, and they packed it in, and that was what kept them in the game. So obviously they must have saw some tape.
And Lamar Thomas is starting the second half for the Vikings. He had 2 big threes in that first half. Now Deshaun Reynolds looks over to Gene Allen, calls out a set play. Right side of the circle for Thomas, down low for Montague, and a whistle. Are they calling it offensive? I'm the hands in the air for Jabril Chandler. And that's going to be the call.
That would be his 4th. It's interesting. Jamie Gillespie was just on the halftime. He just said Lenape sat their guys with 2 fouls. Atlantic City didn't wait it till they had 3. We'll see if that becomes a factor. Now Chandler's out with 4 fouls, 7.5 minutes left to play in the game, or in the third quarter.
Right. Inbound pass to Hand, played by Graves. Ahead it goes to Mastek along the left sideline. Center court snaps for Green. They swing it right sideline for Hand. Center court for Gaither. Gaither deals left side for Mastek. Mastek puts on the floor, circling to his right against Thomas. One hops right sideline for Hand. Hand played by Graves. Up top, it's intercepted by White. White drives the lane. White cuts in, and he flips it home, and he misses it. Instead of using glass, he looked to just flip it over the rim, and it bounced out. Rebound comes down to Gaither. Ahead it goes for Green. Green, left side of the circle. Center court for Hand. Nearly has it stolen. Right side for Mastek to the baseline. Played by Thomas. Has it poked away, but recovered by Hand deep in the left-hand corner. Outside for Green. Swing it right side. Mastek for three. It is off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound is grabbed off by Montague. He leaves it for Graves as he moves it out of the backcourt. Sends right sideline for Deshaun Reynolds. Deshaun looking down low for Montague. Instead sends head of the key for Graves. Stepping to his left, returns to Deshaun, right side of the circle. Down low Montague, backing his way for the turnaround jump that is way off. Rebound loose on the floor. It's picked up by Green. Stolen, however, by Deshaun Reynolds, who gives off to Thomas center court for Graves. Graves, right side for Deshaun Reynolds. Underneath to the cutting Montague. Again, they miss connection, and it's stolen. Ahead for Gaither, and he is fouled. Fouled by Graves.
Helter-skelter start to this third quarter here. Luckily for Atlantic City, who has struggled early in this game. They were down 14-2. Lenape has struggled here in the opening of the third quarter. Graves now with 3 fouls. So 4 players on Atlantic City, or 3 players with 3 fouls, 1 with 4 now.
Mastek to trigger. Looking in, it comes to Moody, but it's picked off by Montague. Ahead for Deshaun Reynolds. Underneath to the cutting Graves, and he drives and he hits.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Another steal. Here's Hand. Hand moving it up court against Graves. Snaps right sideline for Mastek. Watched by Thomas. Mastek with a step. He's cut off by Graves. Almost traveled. Outside sends for Gaither. Loose for the jumper. That is no good. Rebound is snared off by Graves. Graves puts on the floor. Moves it across left side to the free throw line. Here's the pull-up. It is short. Rebound taken off by Moody with position on White. Gives off to Hand. Moves it across right side. One hops right sideline to Green. Green circling to his left. Nearly stolen by Deshaun Reynolds as he reaches in, but he picks up the personal foul. Third team foul on Atlantic City. And checking in is Daza Chase, and he replaces Graves. So
3 fouls already on Atlantic City, Tony. I mean,
yeah.
That's good. Lenape shot fouls very well in the first half. That could be a factor.
No question. And they're going to have to use the full complement of their players, the bench Atlantic City here tonight. Left side Hand. Hand played by Chase. Off the pick from Moody. It's a big pick. Left sideline to Green. Down low Moody for the flip that is good.
Came from way downtown. Came from his knee.
He probably goes about 260 at 6'2". Deep in the left-hand corner, it's Thomas. Down low for White. Outside for Montague. Has a notion. Puts on the floor. Crashes into the defender. No good. Rebound to Moody. Gives off to Hand. 25 all as he moves it across right side. Off the pick from Moody to the head of the key. One hops left side intended for Gaither. Tapped away and out of bounds. Last touch by White. 4:29 left in the third. All knotted at 25. Mastek to toss in. Comes to Green. Watched by Deshaun Reynolds. Holding the basketball. Center court sends for Hand. Up high it goes for Mastek. Mastek puts on the floor. Sends right side for Moody. Watched by Montague. Outside Green, but the great pump fake cuts in for the floater. That is no good. Rebound tapped up and taken by Chase. A lead as Deshaun Reynolds breaks ahead of everyone and drives and he hits.
Vikings lead by 2, 27-25 with that layup. That's the outburst again. They get it on the run. Transition buckets for Atlantic City.
And a good look by Chase as Deshaun was ahead of everyone. Chase pressuring Hand left side. Sends right sideline for Gaither. Played by White. Gaither has it stolen by Deshaun Reynolds. He's one-on-one with Green. Down the lane for the scoop. It is good.
Well, Reynolds did a great job of letting the defender pass him, and it gives Atlantic City its largest lead of 4 points, 29-25.
Inbounding is Mastek. It comes to Green, returns to Mastak as he accelerates across the timeline. Has it poked away from behind, stolen by White. Here comes Thomas to chase left side. Cross court, Deshawn, 4-3. Off the back of the rim, rebound White, yes, and a foul.
Big rebound by Dennis White. We saw that in the first half, Tony. We said there was a play where we liked the miss by Reynolds, but we liked it because he took a shot, and White got that rebound. He got this rebound, too, and put it back in. And now Atlantic City looks confident with a couple of outbursts, some steals, and now a putback and a layup and a chance for a three-point play here as White gets to the line with a 31-25 advantage.
So Dennis White has 3 points. Kevin Allen getting set to check in. The lefty, 6'5" junior with a free throw that's no good. He struggled from the free throw line, only has made 1 out of 4. Rebound comes off to Green. Hands off to Hand as he moves it across right side. Played by Chase to the right-hand corner with a step to the baseline for the floater that is no good. Rebound to Chase. Again ahead for Thomas. He's ahead of everyone for the scoop that is blocked and out of bounds. Last touch by Lenape, but the good recovery by the Indians to prevent an easy 2.
Yeah, they hustled back on defense. Thomas didn't think anybody was going to come anywhere near to block that. Almost pinned it between the rim and the backboard, and it went out of bounds off of Lenape. But Atlantic City now starting to get the breakouts.
Jelaine Montague will take a seat. Kevin Allen, the 6'3" sophomore, is in the ballgame as Deshawn Reynolds tosses in to Chase, returns to Deshawn right-hand corner, back to Chase operating right side with 2:50 left in the third. Directing traffic as he circles to his left against Kendall Green. Outside for Deshawn Reynolds, pump fake, right-hand corner to Allen. Outside again for Deshawn Reynolds, returns to Allen deep in the right-hand corner. To Deshawn Reynolds, tosses left side for Chase, directing traffic against that 2-3 zone. They've had their difficulty working it between the zone, but they've used that defense to get some easy buckets. Left-hand corner, it's Thomas looking to flip it down low for White, stolen by Kendall Green. Cross court to Green, touch last by Green. That's Cameron Green and out of bounds, so Atlantic City, again the turnover, that one pretty much unforced.
Yeah, threw that one right out of bounds. Lenape has not been as good in the transition. Atlantic City doing almost everything exclusively in the transition, and Lenape has really been much better in the half court.
2:15 left, third quarter, Atlantic City up 31-25. Deshawn Reynolds holds the basketball right side. Left side he tosses to Chase, holding the basketball. Again, he's directing traffic. Just holding the basketball as Lenape refuses to come out and play him, and he's perfectly happy to do that. Continues to hold it out. Gene Allen says, just hold it. He's doing that left side. Now he's just cradling the basketball, not even looking to do anything with it. They're working clock, 1:40 left here in the third quarter. Lenape can't do anything with it as long as Atlantic City's got it, and they refuse to come out and play them. So Daza Chase, left side, just continues to hold the basketball, and Coach Guitar says that's okay.
Hey, Atlantic City has the lead. Why not shorten the game?
Yep.
Crowd is not happy on one side. The other side standing up and cheering. A contrast in styles right now. And if I'm Atlantic City, I like this strategy. Just let the clock tick. Let my guys, he's got guys on the bench with 3 fouls, 4 fouls. If I don't have to do a lot with them not playing, I like this move for Atlantic City.
Not only that, Mike, but you figure if they do come out and they play a man-to-man, that's going to play right into Atlantic City's hands as they feel they're going to have much better opportunities, especially down low. Daza Chase continues to hold it now. 50 seconds left in this third quarter. He's probably held it now for a minute and a half, and he's continuing to hold it and might end up in the hands of Deshawn Reynolds as it did at the end of the first half, Mike.
I'll give the kid credit, too. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes basically looking at him to do something with the ball, and he's literally stood here for about a minute and a half.
Big-time discipline on the part of Atlantic City.
There was 1:50 on the clock when he had that ball in his hand. They're down to 25 seconds. He hasn't moved yet, and they haven't defended him.
Continuing to hold it, holding it like a football, just holding it in his hand.
A basket here would be huge by Atlantic City to kill a minute 50 and get a bucket.
Now Gene says, all right, let's start moving the offense. Center court, Deshaun Reynolds nearly loses, but recovers. Right side of the circle. Here's the pull-up jumper, forced, no good. Rebound for Thomas, no good. Came in from the backside and just couldn't get it to fall. So Atlantic City takes the lead for the first time in this game at the end of 3 quarters. They lead it 31-25. Well, if you need a sign, you need Captain Charlie. Captain Charlie at Blue Water Graphics creates signs for real estate and other businesses. He does construction site signs and window lettering for your business. He can also provide the lettering for your van, truck, boat, or boat. You can reach Blue Water Graphics at 609-823-8891. Signs, banners, vehicles, windows, whatever letter you need. Phone Captain Charlie, 823-8891 for Blue Water Graphics.
We're going to go down to the sideline. Tyler Donahue has more on Atlantic City in the huddle here.
Well, Atlantic City in the huddle right now. Right now the focus has to be on staying out of foul trouble. Jalee Montague did a nice job staying at 3 there. We saw Jabril Chandler pick up number 4 in the first minute of this quarter. But a bizarre final 2 minutes of that quarter as Deja Chase holds on to the ball for nearly a minute and 40 seconds before they finally make a move. Gene Allen whispers something and Deshaun Reynolds there. They activate their play. Not able to come up with the points, but able to trim time off the clock, and they enter the fourth quarter now with their largest lead of the night, 31-25. Look for more from Deja Chase, a senior, and perhaps Kevin Allen, a big man, a sophomore off the bench. More to come. Mike, Tony, take it away.
Thanks, Tyler. We'll have more from Tyler Donahue on the sidelines of this one. Matt Ulmer providing live video for the fourth quarter here from Ulmer's Appliances in Ocean City at 97.3 ESPN.com. Mike Gill and Tony Blum set to bring you the final 8 minutes of the Group 4 final. Somebody's season's going to end in 8 minutes. The other will move on to Wednesday night at EHT. Hand crosses the timeline between the circles. Bounce pass for Green. Green puts it on the floor one time. Hands it off to Green. Hand gets it back in the deep corner. Gaither gets it nearly stolen away. Now he goes baseline. He goes up and lays one in off the glass for Taboo Gaither. He's got 6, and it's 31-27.
Yeah, White stepped in. He ran over him, but there was no call.
Right side, Thomas. Lamar has played more minutes than we've seen all season. Up top for White. Now Reynolds on the wing. Reynolds thinking about a 3. Still waiting for him to get hot. Graves, right of the lane. Now he backs out. Gets it back to Deshaun. Deshaun on the wing, left side. On the Atlantic City emblem. On the far left side, he gets it back to Graves. 7-10 and counting. 31-27, Atlantic City leads it.
Montague working hard against Moody, but he just can't push him out of the way, Mike.
Now Reynolds backing out and a timeout. 30 seconds for offense, a little too stagnant. 31-27, Atlantic City leads on 97.3.
And if you're heading to the state finals of the Tournament of Champions, plan to stay, that is, at the Comfort Inn of Toms River. They've got high-definition TVs, wireless internet, a spa, fitness center, indoor pool, and free breakfast, too. The Comfort Inn of Toms River, also just outside Seaside Heights and close to Six Flags Great Adventure and the Lakewood Blue Claws, the Phillies Class A affiliate. So it's a perfect place to visit for spring and summer. Phone the Comfort Inn of Toms River, 732-929-2900, or link to their website through primeevents.net.
31-27, Atlantic City leads with the basketball coming out of a timeout. Mike Gill, Tony Blum, and Tyler Donahue, along with Matt Ulmer on video on 97.3 ESPN.com. Reynolds looking to Gene Allen for the play. 6:48 and counting in this one. Graves. Bounce pass down low for White with the layup. No good. White gets his own rebound and puts it back in and scores his 5th point of the night. Pressure from the Vikings. They lead at 33-27. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Lenape with 6:30 to go in the game. A full house here at the high school.
As Jamie said, great atmosphere.
Gaither inbounds. He got the scoring started tonight and has been quiet pretty much since. 33-27, Atlantic City leads. Here comes Lenape crossing the timeline. Between the circles with the belt-high dribble is Green. Green bounce pass to Green, and Hand comes and gets the ball with 6:15 to play. Green on the left side. Gaither in the corner. Gaither with one dribble, he gives it up and bounces it right out of bounds. He tried to get it to Moody, and Atlantic City forces a turnover.
Yeah, Moody just didn't look like could get off of Montague, who was playing him from behind, couldn't get to the basketball, so yet another turnover for Atlantic City against this Lenape team.
And they'll inbound. Here comes Reynolds. 6:05 to play. Reynolds crosses the timeline. Left side for Thomas. Thomas to White at the elbow. Left elbow jumper. Dennis White connects. Wow. I don't think anybody thought White was going to pop that, but he did. He's got 7 and now an 8-point Atlantic City lead, their largest of the night. Green on the far sideline, pressured by Thomas. He crosses him over, gets to the paint, a left-hand layup. It is no good, but a foul's going to be called, it looks like, on Jaleem Montague. That would be his 4th.
Let's see who they call it on. It's on Deshaun Reynolds.
Is it on Reynolds? Okay, they got Reynolds on the perimeter, not Montague. Let's go down to Tyler Donahue.
Well, we see Reynolds pick up the foul there, and Montague avoids the big one. Something to note here, keep an eye on the matchup between Jaleem Montague and Cole Moody inside, number 55, the big man. He looks like a defensive tackle, and he's playing very well tonight for Lenape. Those two going at it. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to give ground first, because right now both players look pretty spent, and Montague cannot afford to pick up at foul number 4. So keep an eye on that matchup.
Mostak into the game for Lenape. A pair of free throws makes it 35-29 with 5:37 to play. Atlantic City with the basketball. AC trailed 14-2 at one point. They now lead 35-29. A fadeaway jumper for White. He connects. He's got 9.
Big time in crunch time for Dennis White.
5:18 to play. 37-29. Atlantic City almost gets a 5-second call. It's going to be close to a 10-second call here if they continue to pressure. Now Hand getting a pick. Crosses the timeline. Green to Green, and Green pumps his air ball up. And the rebound is taken by Thomas. Thomas crosses over, crosses the timeline, and then retreats and slows down. Graves with the ball on his hip. Left hand dribble to the left sideline. Graves kicks it into another gear, into the paint, bounce pass down low. Montague thought about jamming it, but got tied up in a foul.
Yeah, he was in position to jam it, but the defense came over before he could throw it down, but still drawing the personal foul with 4:44 left in this ball game. Atlantic City up 37-29 if he's able to hit them both, their first double-digit lead of the game after trailing early 14-2, and Coach Guitar wants to talk things over. 4:44 left in this ball game. Atlantic City up 37-29. And the Storage Inn is a family-owned business started more than 3 decades ago. 2527 Fire Road in Egg Harbor Township. Storage Inn is over 40 different sizes to meet all of your storage
play
needs.
In the game in the Group 4 final.
And Mike, that's what's so special about this team. They may not have an offensive superstar, but as Tyler was saying, Deshaun Reynolds 10.3, Jabril Chandler 12.5, Dennis White 10.6. Any one of them can go off for 20 any night. So it's tough to defend, and whoever they need to step up normally does.
Montague at the line, he's got 2. 37-29. Montague is good.
And he's got those 3 points, all from the free throw line. He's been very good there tonight.
Second opportunity for Jaleem, who has the fouls tonight. All the big men for Atlantic City in foul trouble. Second attempt is no good. Rebound comes down to Deshaun Reynolds. Reynolds kicks it out, and Atlantic City gets the ball back. So with 4:40 on the clock, Atlantic City resets with a 9-point lead. Reynolds kicks it out for Graves. Graves, belt high dribble the right wing. Knifes to the middle of the paint. He lets up a floater, back iron, no good. Off of Graves' head, right into White's hands, and he puts it in. 40-29. Dennis White has 11 to lead Atlantic City.
Little pinball action there, and White found it. Now
Stolen away, White. White intercepts. They try to baseball pass down the other end of the court. Graves dumps it into the paint, but he's fouled from the backside. He flips over out of bounds, and he is begging for a flagrant foul, and he gets called for an offensive foul.
as you can hear, The Atlantic City faithful not real happy with that call. He did hit the deck, but he's called for the charge.
So Graves called for the foul. That's his fourth. So he now has 4. 40-29 with 4:05 to play. Lenape inbounds. They get it to Hand. Hand stared down by Graves. Hand crosses the timeline. Bounce pass. Mostak. Mostak puts it on the floor. Between the circles. Bounce pass to Hand on the wing on the left side. Foul line. Knifes to the middle of the paint. Banks it in. Hand has 4. 40-31. Atlantic City leads with the ball. Here's Thomas. Thomas gets trapped. He throws a cross-court pass to Reynolds. Reynolds now on the right wing. 3:31 and counting. Reynolds stared down by Hand. Trying to shake Hand. Hand playing good defense. Gets a pick from Montague. Now they pick and roll. Montague goes up and snares what would be a throwaway. A left-hand runner. Jaleem puts it in, and he's fouled. Wow.
Montague said, I'm taking it to the hole. He did. Switch hands. Went with the left, and he was bodied. And an attempt for the three-point play. Atlantic City now up 42-31 with 3:18 left in this ballgame. And Mike, you know, if Lenape wants to take time to run their offense on the other end, Atlantic City's going to be perfectly happy to let them do that.
And Jaleem Montague going guard style there. Dribble drive to the basket, switching hands in midair with the left. 4 fouls now on Cameron Green for Lenape. He takes a seat. And Montague makes the old-fashioned three-point play. He's got 6 all of a sudden, and Atlantic City leads by 12. Who would have thought? They trailed in this game 14-2. Stolen away. A bounce pass by Green is stolen away by Graves, and he's fouled.
Mastek picks up the personal foul. Yeah, you're right, Mike. But then again, that's why they play 4 quarters, not just 1.
The crowd sensing what could happen as they are erupting in Atlantic City's chants right now. 43-31. They'll inbound it on the far sideline. Graves, the trigger man, gets it in to Deshaun Reynolds. Reynolds, between the legs, crosses the timeline. He's trapped. He gets it to T. Reynolds. Now he takes over at the top between the circles. Right side, splits almost, nearly loses it.
They've gone man, Mike.
They have to. They're down 12 with 2:50 left. Reynolds crosses over the defender, and he gets it down to Montague. Montague is fouled.
Yeah.
It looked like he got hit in the face. He's holding himself in the face. Maybe Tyler got a better view of that, what happened down on the floor there, because it looked like Montague is either he's laughing or he got hit in the face. Which one is it?
Well, one thing I've got to know about Jaleem is he smiles when he's angry. So I think he's a little angry, holding his mouth here, looking at the ref, but he looks like that smile is because he realizes his team's on the verge of closing this out, 43-31. Remember, this was a 14-2 advantage for Lenape. Since then, a 41-17 run for Atlantic City. Pretty unbelievable. Gene Allen's squad at the line again where they have been. Money so far tonight. A minute till we see those free throws. Right now up by 12 points. Dennis White coming up big, and Jaleem Montague with a great take on the other end. Jaleem Montague is a player. Some say he's underwhelming at times, but he is a closer like so much of this team. He knows how to ramp it up, and that's what he's doing right now. Coach Allen loving the aggressiveness, the attitude, and on the other side, Coach Qatar has seen things unravel. He joins the club with Atlantic City's victims over this run. So many point guards, so many offenses have fallen by the wayside against Atlantic City, especially in the second half, and we're seeing more of that tonight. 43-31, potentially moments away from a second straight South Jersey championship. Either way, when it's all over, we'll be on the court with interviews with players and coaches.
All right, Mike Gill and Tony Blum. Tony very angry right now at Tyler. Very, very hasty up here, Tony.
Well, you know, we've got our producer who wants us to get those spots in, so no problem. The one thing, Mike, though, you have to give.
I can see the death stare down on Tyler.
You've got to give Montague a lot of credit, though. He did not lose his composure. Got hit in the face.
I can't say the same for you.
Well, hey.
I don't know. He looked like he either got hit in the face or he was laughing at the crossover because this place erupted on that crossover from Tashad Reynolds. Montague at the line. And the first one is no good. He has struggled from the line at times.
Been good tonight, though, for the most part.
6 points for Jaleem. 43-31, Atlantic City leads with 2:52 to play in the game. Second one hits the front of the rim and rolls in, so it's 7 points now for Montague and a 44-31 lead. This game, as Tyler just mentioned, a 42-17 run all of a sudden. Gaither is trapped. Bounce pass to Green. Green lets it down low for Green. Cameron Green, no good. Rebound for Green, and he puts it back in good. So 44-33 now. Atlantic City leads. T. Reynolds crosses the timeline. As Lenape's really pressuring now. And a over and back call. They said that Reynolds caught the ball on the backside and came over. I don't know that I agree with him.
Well, he took off, Mike, from back court, and then he caught the ball. It wasn't front court, but the ruling was that he took off, and it's a continuation move, so they said it was back court.
44-33 with 2:29 left to play. Lenape is going to have to score in a hurry. Gaither crosses over, dribble drive, spins, now gives up the dribble. Kicks it back out for Green. Kendall Green puts it behind his back to the elbow, trying to shake it big. A left-hand jumper off the back iron, no good. Dennis White with a rebound. They're going to slow it down. 2:09 left to play. 44-33 Atlantic City leads. Taking their time, and Chuck Guitar might realize what's about to happen is that the Vikings will knock out his Indians for the second straight year, but we still have a minute 57 to play, and the Vikings are going to have to hit free throws to make this work.
And this time it'll be Tashad Reynolds moving to the free throw line as he was dribbling cross court and was grabbed from behind.
Paul Mostick with the foul.
But still not in the penalty, so Atlantic City will not be moving to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1 as Tashad Reynolds will in fact trigger.
So Reynolds inbounds. He gets it back to Deshaun Reynolds. Reynolds splits the two defenders. He hits the deck, and Mostick gets a steal. Hand throws up a layup, and it rolls in. So Hand has 6, and the Indians are hanging around until that jam by White in transition. Atlantic City fired the inbounds and right back the other way. It's 46-35. Hand, bounce pass into the corner. Gaither goes baseline. He sets up a little jumper, and Gaither has 8. And it's 46-37, timeout on the floor. Atlantic City leads with 1:25 left on 97.
Best of luck in their quest for another state championship.
46-37. Atlantic City leads with 1:25 left. Most of the people still left. Graves catches White. They break the press with ease, and then Reynolds just lost it, just flat out lost it.
Mike, I think he was thinking about catching it and just throwing it cross court to the cutter. But in his indecision, he took his eye off it and lost it out of bounds.
46-37, Mostick triggers to Green. Green jogging up to the left wing. He gives up the dribble. Bounce pass down low. Moody might have got away with the travel. Green puts the ball on the floor. Pump fakes. Stolen away. Stolen away by the Vikings, and Graves just circles. Back to Reynolds with under a minute to play for Atlantic City. A minute away from back-to-back South Jersey Group 4 state championships. Can they connect on the line as some of the Lenape fans are now exiting the building?
Not much time, 57.1. They're down by 9 points, and Tashad Reynolds can extend that here.
Let's go down to Tyler with a quick update.
Isaiah Graves with a huge steal there. During that previous timeout, Coach Allen was really stressing ball control and not wasting any possessions, not getting the ball back in Lenape's hand, and then they turned the ball over right away. However, Isaiah Graves with a timely defensive play, able to get the ball back, and here they are at the line, chance to cement the game now. It's up to 10 points with 57 seconds to go.
Tyler will have some interviews down on the floor when this one ends, I'm sure. Atlantic City. The faithful will be You can see they have the guardrails already up in anticipation of the fans trying to join in on the party. Second one, no good. Rebound, and it goes out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Lenape. Central Jersey Group 4 final. East Brunswick 59, Trenton 49. They will be a part of the state Group 4 championships, which will be Wednesday at Egg Harbor Township. Lenape 47-37, they trail. The ball is stolen away by Atlantic City. And Atlantic City, let's see if Lenape's going to foul. And they do.
Jordan Russell picks up the personal, and looking forward to that game, Mike. East Brunswick, from what we understand, is an excellent basketball team. They, in fact, have beaten St. Joseph Metuchen twice this season.
Wow.
A team that eliminated St. Augustine. Of course, Carl Towns, their 7-footer, commit to Kentucky, had 25 against St. Augustine, but they've taken care of them twice. 2 out of 3 times they beat them, so you know they're a quality team. And that is going to be one great basketball game at Egg Harbor Township on Wednesday evening.
Ryan McMahon, a sophomore, into the game for Lenape as Reynolds shoots and connects. Deshaun Reynolds, that is. He's got 11, 48-37. And Casey Gray into the game now for Lenape. Mike Martin into the game for Lenape. They are letting their seniors get in a final applause here as the Indians realizing their fate. John Morgan into the game. The Indians realizing their fate. The Vikings doing the same. Daniel Torres, a senior, will get a chance to be recognized on the floor for Atlantic City.
And all these players have contributed to the Atlantic City success. Robert Lowe also getting a chance to play here tonight as he's looking to report in. There's only 44 seconds left.
And the second one is good. From Reynolds. And into the game for Atlantic City, Robert Lowe. He is a senior.
Replaces Jaleem Montague. Finishes unofficially with 7.
Had a nice fourth quarter for them with those 4 fouls, too. You were worried for a little while there. Remember, Atlantic City trailed 14-4 in this game. 3-pointer on the way. No good. Robert Lowe with the rebound. Gets it out to Torres. Torres all the way to the basket, and he is fouled.
Just tried to throw something up toward the basket. Held the ball over his left ear. Threw it up there. No intention of trying to make the basket unless it was just some sort of a miraculous shot. But his intention was to get fouled, and that's exactly what happened. With 32.1 remaining, Atlantic City is going to win it. They're up 49-37 by 12, and if you left after the first quarter, you missed a great game, and Atlantic City was down 14-4, actually trailed in the game 14-2, and Lenape was just in total control of that first quarter, but 1 quarter a game does not make.
Aaron Tolbert, a senior, gets into the game for Atlantic City, along with Brevard, a freshman. Janier Brevard, a freshman for Atlantic City. Second one by Torres is good. So Daniel Torres has a pair. 51-37, 32 seconds left. McMahon bringing it up. On the wing for Morgan. Morgan gives up the dribble. Over to Martin. Martin at the foul line. Bounce passes out to Morgan. 17 and a half seconds to play. McMahon gets fouled in a layup. Ryan McMahon, a sophomore. So the future of the Indians on display currently with 13.6 seconds to go.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see how Atlantic City is still right in their face, Mike, even with these subs in the game. They just run that defense. Doesn't matter who's in the ball game.
And McMahon, free throw's good. So Ryan McMahon with 3, 51-40. And Atlantic City will be able to dribble out the clock because they are the South Jersey Group 4 champions for the second straight year. Gene Allen's bunch will win it here in Atlantic City tonight on home turf. The Vikings 51, the Indians 40. We'll be back on Wednesday night with Atlantic City in the state Group 4 playoffs. Tony, it looks like Atlantic City after that first quarter must have had the light switch turned on because they came out looking like they didn't want any part of being here. But after that first quarter where they trailed 14-4, they absolutely dominated with a huge 42-17 run at one point that really put this game away.
No question about it. I mean, they scored a total of 51 points against this Lenape team, Mike, and Lenape has given up an average of only 30 points in this playoff run. But in talking to Gene Allen before the game, he said, well, that may be true, but they haven't played Atlantic City yet. He was pretty confident that they could get more than 30 points. This game brought to you the best wishes of everyone at Calvi Electric in Atlantic City, who encourage you to get out and support your favorite high school team each and every week. Vic Sub Shop, 742 Ohio Avenue in Absecon, offers great quality and friendly service. All sandwiches available for pickup or delivery. Phone 645-0500. Vic's open 7 days a week until 8 p.m. on weeknights, 9:30 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You can also visit Vic's Sub Shop, Zion Road in Egg Harbor Township. Be sure to try Vic's Special, a sub pile high with their special assortment of fresh meats and cheeses. Vic's Sub Shop, Ohio Avenue in Absecon. So the final score, Atlantic City again winning the Group 4 South Jersey Championship. And as Mike has told you, they will take on a very, very tough East Brunswick team in their own backyard, really. I guess that's something that's got to work in their favor. That'll be at Egg Harbor Township on Wednesday evening, a game you can hear right here at 97.3 ESPN FM.
And we're working on the time on that game, actually. It is a scheduled 5:30 start time. We are hoping that they will work with us on that time so that we can bring you that game on 97.3 ESPN. If not, we will try to figure some way, somehow, to get that game to you. And that game is on Wednesday night, scheduled at Egg Harbor Township High School. A 5:30 start time currently is what they have. Looks like Tyler Donahue has Dennis White down on the floor, who basically led this team tonight with 13 points. Let's bring Tyler Donahue in with tonight's star of the game, Dennis White.
That's right. Dennis White came up big in the clutch, the junior forward, with 10 points in the fourth quarter. Back-to-back South Jersey titles, back-to-back Cape Atlantic League championships. It must be a great feeling, my friend.
Yes, it is, sir. Defense wins championships.
I mean, they came up with a great defense as well. Lenape holding to 4 points, 1 field goal in the first quarter. What did Coach Allen tell you after that first quarter? It was frustrating, obviously.
Yeah, we were down a lot in the first quarter. But when we went inside the locker room second half, Coach Allen told us if we don't play D, we will not win this game. So we all came together, got in the huddle, and talked about defense, and that's what we did, came out to win.
How about the foul trouble? You had 3 fouls in the first half. Jaleem had 3 fouls, and Chandler had 3 fouls. What was Coach Allen's approach? How did you change your game plan at all?
Yeah, we were playing sloppy defense in the first, but we had to make it up second half.
And you look ahead now, a chance to win another state championship. How are you feeling? Any fatigue setting in, or you feel good to go?
I feel good to go. I'm ready.
And these seniors, you're a junior. You've seen them go through all this. Jaleem, Jabril, of course, Deshaun, all of them. How does it feel to send them out on a high note like this?
I love them guys, so I got to, make it happen for them.
Well, Dennis White with 10 points in the fourth quarter puts it away, as Atlantic City often does. Congratulations, South Jersey champs once again. Enjoy it. We'll see you Wednesday at Egg Harbor Township. So Atlantic City finishes the game on quite a run because of that man right there in big part, 10 points. Signing off from down here on the court, I'm Tyler Donahue. Back to you, Mike and Tony.
The Fat Cat is what they call him, and he came up big tonight with 13 points. He had rebounds. He did a lot of the dirty work. They all had foul trouble, too. So White, Montague, Chandler all had foul trouble, as did Graves, and they were able to overcome that. Just as he mentioned, I think I wrote it down here. I think it's the mantra of their season, Tony. Defense wins championships.
No question, and you take a look at Dennis White, Mike, he had a grand total of 1 point in the first half, that from the free throw line. Came up with 12 in the second half and hit a couple of jumpers as well that were very important, as did, you talk about Lamar Thomas, had a total of 6 points in the ball game on 2 threes, but how valuable were they? Because it's not just, he hit 2 threes. He hit 2 threes when they really needed the points, when they were struggling offensively, and Lenape was in control of the ball game. He started to turn it around in that second half, and they tied it up at halftime at 23 all after trailing 14 to 4 at the end of the first quarter. But they ended up with only scoring 4 points, Mike, in that first quarter. They scored 51 for the game, so they really put it together, and the defense led to the offense.
Yeah, that's a good point. They only scored 4 in the first, so they were able to really get back into this game with defense and then convert. We talk about the breakouts that Atlantic City is known for. They did that tonight. I think that was really the key for their offense, was getting those breakouts. They got a lot of transition baskets, and Atlantic City was able to do that because of their defense. We'll see if Tyler can grab Gene Allen if he's able to come out of the locker room or not. I know those guys went right into the locker room. And, of course, Gene is going to move on now to his second straight and NJSIA South Jersey Championship, and he'll have a chance now to win a second state title in a row coming up with that first game on Wednesday. And now, you wonder, you start talking about Gene in terms about his place in Atlantic City when with all the accomplishments that he's had.
Well, you look back at some of his teams in the past. Of course, last year they went all the way to win the state title in Group 4. But this team defensively is not just, I think, and I would assume that most people would agree, the best defensive team he's ever had, but it's probably one of the best defensive teams, if not the best defensive team in the history of the Cape Atlantic League. Like you might say, well, yeah, but teams that given up less points than Atlantic City give up on an average, they score 63.8 and they give up 44.3. So some teams may give up only 30 points a game, but the way they play defense, the way they can turn it on and turn a game around as they did in this ball game is just something special. But I think that the trip this year is going to be a little bit tougher than it was last year because, Mike, not only do they have to beat East Brunswick, a very, very difficult opponent, but then they're also going to have to take on the winner of Linden against Ridge or Hackensack or Bloomfield. And Linden, I saw them play in the Battle by the Bay, Mike. They are an extremely good team. They beat a team, Philadelphia Math and Science, who was 21-0 in that game, and they are very tough as well, as they always are. Linden's always good every single year. But, hey, Atlantic City has met every challenge except for one this year. They won 11 straight, lost, and then now they have won 16 in a row. That loss coming to the state's top team, St. Anthony's.
Yeah, and I know Linden beat Ridge 49-46.
Okay.
So there's that. They are the Group 4 Section 2 champions. They will advance to the Group 4 semis. So Linden beats Ridge, so that will be another team in the finals. Hackensack 74-65 over Bloomfield, and that would put them in the Group 4 finals as well. So we now know Hackensack, Linden, Atlantic City, and East Brunswick will be the 4 teams that will play in the Group 4 semis on Wednesday night at Egg Harbor Township High School. So you're looking at really 2, especially with Linden in that mix and Hackensack and East Brunswick, you're looking at 3 teams that certainly have a lot of size, and Atlantic City will have they're going to need to play 2 of their best games to get through that tournament.
No question about it. When you talk about East Brunswick, for instance, they supposedly have 2 excellent guards, but they must have some good big people as well, Mike, because as I said earlier in the broadcast, they were able to beat St. Joseph Metuchen twice this season, and St. Joseph Metuchen has a starter who's 6'9" and one of the top, if not the top player in the entire country, in Carl Towns, who's a 7-footer. So you know if they're able to beat a team that has that kind of size, the size that Atlantic City presents to them is not going to bother them relative to what St. Joseph Metuchen presented to them. So Atlantic City is going to have to play a very solid game, and one thing they cannot do against them is fall behind 14-2.
That is true, and East Brunswick will be Atlantic City's opponent in the Group 4. The South will play the Central. The 2 North teams will match up against each other, that was, typically the North teams are a little stronger than the teams from the Central area. So we'll see how that fares for Atlantic City. By the way, a score in non-public B, Russell Catholic's 46 and Wildwood Catholic 27, which means, Tony, all of the boys teams in the Cape Atlantic League are now eliminated. And as you just pointed out to me, Russell Catholic number 2 in the boys online 25 at primeevents.net. The number 1 team, Atlantic City, Russell Catholic number 2. And Wildwood Catholic season comes to an end. So all of the Cape Atlantic League teams, save for Atlantic City, are eliminated.
No question, and Roselle Catholic beating Wildwood Catholic has the pleasure and distinct honor of playing the winner of Patrick School and Gill St. Bernard's. Both of those teams are powerhouses, and of course on the other side you have St. Anthony's. St. Anthony's, we're all over Saddle River Day. They beat them 102-30. So that was a mismatch. And, of course, St. Anthony's the #1 team in the entire state.
Now, you saw St. Joe's Metuchen over the weekend, and the score was as lopsided as you're going to get for a playoff game. Atlantic City played St. Augustine, and, game was close. Would St. Joe's Metuchen be that much better than Atlantic City?
Well, it's all a matter of matchups. You can't say because one team beat the other, but of course, it's just a different game when you have someone who's 7 feet, Mike. I mean, Michael Greenman said after the game, hey, look, we would penetrate, we'd get to the hole. He just couldn't get the basketball to fall because of the tremendous size of St. Joseph Metuchen.
All right, Tyler Donahue down on the floor. It appears to be Deshaun Reynolds under the hood. I can't tell.
That's right. That would be Deshaun Reynolds under the hood, senior point guard for this Atlantic City team, coming up big on the defensive and offensive end, especially in the second half of the game. First off, congratulations, back-to-back South Jersey titles.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the second half, really the last 3 quarters. What did you change mentally, game plan-wise, that spurred you on after a rough first quarter?
We tightened up the defense and it got us steals and easy runouts for easy baskets.
You guys were out of intermission very fast. You were in there for about 2 minutes. Can you go through what maybe Coach Allen told you real quick, and then you were back out warming up for the second half?
Right. It was just a quick blow. When they came out in the beginning, we didn't think they were going to hit us like that. We knew they were going to come out with fire because they thought they can beat us. So we just turned it up on defense, and like I said, it got us easy runouts for easy baskets.
Hey, Coach Allen now looking to get into his 4th state championship game, potentially his 3rd victory in the state title game. Talk to us about the man, the coach. Tell the listeners a little about Gene Allen and what he's been able to accomplish here at Atlantic City in 10 seasons.
Oh, he's the man. He's the man. I know some guys will say, oh, he's a little crazy. He's a great guy. And as far as basketball, he knows a lot. He's a very, very intelligent coach.
Now, how about these Final Four games? We know the Final Four now. It's you, Hackensack, East Brunswick, and Linden. What do you need to do better to finish off and repeat as state champions?
We can tighten up the defense a little bit more. That's been our strength all year. And just running the half-court sets effectively.
And not surprisingly, an Atlantic City Viking points to defense first. That's what's gotten them this far. Back-to-back South Jersey championships. Senior Deshaun Reynolds, thank you very much, my friend.
Hey, Tyler, I think it was the power of the 97.3 T-shirts again.
Yes, and rocking the 97.3 ESPN T-shirts. Well, I mean, you all run out with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened. They just had shirts lined up for us in the locker room, and he said the guy wanted us to wear them, so we all just put them on.
It must have worked, I guess. We'll see you Wednesday. Have a good night.
Thank you, Tyler.
That's Deshaun Reynolds, the senior leader.
And you heard it there. Tighten up the defense. He said it twice. Tighten up the defense, and then they got steals and runouts, and he thought that was really the difference. What do they need to do better to win the next round? Tighten up our defense. So it sounds like defense is really ingrained into this team because Dennis White said the same thing. Defense wins championships.
No question. The thing they've got to do next game, Mike, is just tighten up the defense from the opening tip. That's what they didn't have in the first quarter, as you heard both players say. We needed to tighten up the defense after the first quarter, and they can't give up the first quarter to East Brunswick and expect to win that game. Very, very tough team, and we're looking forward to it as East Brunswick is the #1 seed in their bracket.
By the way, I gave you that score, Roselle Catholic and Wildwood Catholic. It is not a final yet. That is just the score currently, 46-27. That game was an 8 o'clock start, which means those kids in Wildwood will get home at about midnight tonight.
Yes.
Here in Atlantic City moves on with a 51-41 victory, or 53-41 victory over Lenape in the Group 4 South Jersey final. So that's going to do it for us here. Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliances in Ocean City. Make sure if you need an appliance or some help, your washer or dryer might be on the fritz. Matt will come right to your house, even videotape himself doing the work.
Oh, okay. He does instructional videos. Is that right? Oh, okay.
So give him a call at Ulmer's Appliances. All that video on 97.3ESPN.com, supplied by him. Tyler Donahue on the floor with tonight's interviews. Pete Giordano back at the radio station producing tonight's basketball game. And, of course, here on the call, Tony Blum, and I'm Mike Gill. We will talk to you Wednesday at a time to be determined from Egg Harbor Township High School. The Vikings win the Group 4 Finals. This has been high school basketball on 97.3 ESPN FM.